Been a while since I did a reads and responds video, but I got a few I'm looking to do here. This one, this is a little shout out video here as well, to a fellow YouTube creator who's been in business about 3 times longer than I have. It's been on here about 6 years now, and you're probably familiar with his work on the Game Over Girls channel. I know that between subscribers and patrons, he and I have quite an overlap. Quite an overlap of fans. So that doesn't mean everyone likes the same thing and whatnot, but there's a lot of crossover there. And before I even get into the video, condolences to Ray and his family. I mean, I know he's going through a rough spot, and someone who's lost my father about 10 years ago, and also a lot of family problems health-wise in my own family. Actually going to see my grandma here in a little bit because she's like in a psych ward of a hospital. She has Alzheimer's real bad and had a major meltdown. So I know how that goes. So condolences to you, my friend, and it'll get better. But I wanted to make a little shout out to him here, and he and I were exchanging emails. I watched one of his last videos where he talked, and I saw a lot of myself in him, especially the frustration of dealing with idiots. Well, let's see, like 99% of the people watching this video right now are fans for both he and myself, are good people and honest people, and just want to have fun and whatnot, and they're not assholes. But then there's this couple that are. So that's going to get another video actually later. But he ranted a little bit about that, and I've done that before myself. But this video is in regards to a conversation he and I had via email, and it's not just him. Other people have done this in the past, and episode 6 of the Kidnapper Reads and Responds also touched on this quite a bit in regards to the Factory, his YouTube channel. And I had a guy leave me a comment when I was about 6 months into this business, right? A little bit after I started the Patreon fund, and he said, I think there's a lot. He said, I think there's a lot of us who would like to fund you on Patreon, but YouTube doesn't really like these channels, and I think they're going to shut you down. He said something along those lines. The Factory got shut down twice. There's been a lot, there have been a lot of channels that have gone by the wayside that have tried to kind of do what I do, whatnot. And Ray told me that some of his videos have gotten taken down, and he thought because of the B word, because of bondage, that somehow this word has, this concept is viewed negatively, that it has been the cause of these channels going away. And I did a video on this before. Now, I can't speak for exactly why his videos were pulled. He sent me one of them. I did watch it. I rather enjoyed it, actually. Truthfully, like, hey, he and I have different concepts, obviously, and personally, I'm not big into knockouts or chloroform, much to the dismay of some of my better fans, or costumes either. And this video didn't have any costumes, so maybe that's why it was a little more appealing to me. But he does great work with writing and his original comedy. And I give him tons of props because he actually makes something, unlike everyone else on here except for me. He and I are the only 2 people on here that actually make something original. So I have to give him props, even if what he makes isn't necessarily my interests. I mean, you see my interests. That's why I'm good at what I do, and that's why he's good at what he does, because we create what we like. But anyway, I got a little off topic there. So if YouTube had this vendetta against bondage of any kind, I'm out of here. I'm gone. Like, you can look at my channel, right, and it's flooded with it. It's on the it's on the banner, it's on all the thumbnails, something. I mean, if YouTube thought, that I was attacking the Me Too movement or coming after them in some way that this was like of atrocity against women, like I'm out of here. A long time ago. A long time ago. And I can tell you that, and you know this because I do live streams. Well, I tried to do one that failed, the internet connection failed. Just this past week, you know by the fact that me doing a live stream that I have 0 strikes on my account. You can't do a live stream if you have even 1 strike. I have never had a strike hold on my account, ever. So for Ray, I watched your video. If I'm gonna make a guess as to why it was pulled down, um, obviously I can't say for certain why it was pulled down. I don't know. Some things I will say is that YouTube does make mistakes. 2 times I did receive a strike on 2 different videos. The first time was the very first video I uploaded a day after my account was created, because someone flagged it. It was one of the duct tape challenge videos, which I've since removed because that opened up a whole wormhole, a can of worms, a mess of not wormhole, a can of worms. It was just, I meant to say a rabbit hole, I guess, of just a disaster of people coming in. But YouTube flagged the video and pulled it down. They said there was child abuse. Now, she was not a child. She was an adult. But they don't know that. So because my account was brand new, they were extra, ultra sensitive about what was being uploaded. I appealed the strike, told them what was going on. The video came back, age restricted, but the strike was removed. There was one other instance where I got a strike on a video. That was for Kidnapper's Corner episode number 35, from that Russian TV show called Sled. Now, it's a very intense kidnapping home invasion scene with some crying young ladies that I don't know if it was because they looked younger or if it was something with the scene. I know Mandrake had it uploaded too and it got removed before me. I don't know if the computer, sometimes there might be something in it doesn't like and it makes a mistake. I appealed that too, and the video came back age restricted. So I've never had a strike hold. I've always appealed them and won my case. So it does make mistakes. So they could have made a mistake on your video. There could have been something, some visual aspect that did it, the computer, because it was probably a computer that took it down, not a person. People only do the appeals. I don't know if you appealed it or not, if you won the appeal, but I mean, you can let me know that. So I don't know exactly what happened there. There's a lot of things, possibly when the one girl was attacking Mr. Snugglesworth, the green stuffed animal, when she was attacking that, maybe they took it out of context that it just, I mean, obviously we know it's not a person, but maybe the computer thought it was a person. It's really hard to say what could have happened there. The only thing I can tell you for certain is that it absolutely had nothing to do with the bondage, because that was, and obviously I'm not critiquing you, that was extremely soft bondage, which myself, everything I do falls in the middle of the line, with some intense acting scenes, as you saw in the ransom video on the Kidnap production. I have a very, everything I do is very non-sexualized. And that's where you and I are in the same boat. We both make scripted violence. This is that we both have a lot of professional wrestling fans watching us as well, and there's a huge correlation between everything that we all do. So I can't say. I can tell you that the bondage had nothing to do with it, unless. Now, it could be also because the girls in the video may look a little bit younger. If there was any confusion, especially with, I know YouTube cracked down recently on the children's space of YouTube. If there was any confusion at all, any risk to them that they thought those were potentially underage girls and, getting hit with violence, then they could have pulled the video down. Again, that's another mistake, and that's kind of it's just something you run into. I mean, it's kind of hard for you to avoid that. After my first false strike, I heavily started putting disclaimers on everything. I have a disclaimer in all my videos saying that we're adults. I had it in the part 3 there of that kidnapped production all the way back to 2 years ago. Everything, I have a disclaimer on everything in my about section that I don't promote violence against women. There's no children involved. At least not children. The girl, JJ, who worked for me for the ambush production, she was 17 at the time we filmed that. But, I mean, there's a disclaimer on there, obviously, so, it's not a big deal there, and I had a parents' permission and whatnot. So, as long as I put the disclaimer out, on that, I haven't had any problems since, other than that Russian scene. That was there's something about that scene they don't like. There's another scene too YouTube doesn't like. There was this independent film, short film called Myopia that was made almost 10 years ago. I actually had it as a bonus Kidnapper's Corner episode. Most people may have seen it before. There's no sex of any kind in it whatsoever, no nudity, nothing even close. There is one girl duct taping another girl, and she hides her in like a back room or something, gives her a wraparound gag and stuffs her in a back room. Something about that video YouTube doesn't like either. And other people have uploaded it, and they pull it down every single time somebody uploads it, which is why I did it as a bonus episode. I don't know why. There's nothing in it. I mean, there's stuff that I have made has been more edgier than that video. So I don't know why there's just some things that hit their computer and don't cause a false flag. So I watched the whole video. And the camera angles, sometimes when you hover over the girls and you don't use music, I mean, but you do that in all your videos, so I don't know what would make that one stand out more. Camera angles. And I wrote in my disclaimer that I've studied all the guidelines. And that's no joke. I really did before I got into this. I studied everything and made sure, they talked about camera angles, about using beds, about anything that could be used as sexualized that would result in your videos getting age restricted. Because when I got into this, I wanted to, obviously, my concept, people can see what it is. My keywords all say, film, cinema, literature, fiction. I don't write tied, gagged in my keywords, things like that. I'm not trying to game the system for views. I wanted them to know. I really did check out everything, to make sure I was abiding by all the rules. Have that in the disclaimer. I don't know. I didn't see if you have a disclaimer or not. I would say you should always add something like that. I'd have to assume you have something like that written in your videos. That's really all you can do on your end. Like I said, they do make mistakes, but it definitely has nothing to do with the bondage. It couldn't. Not in that video. Yeah, 230 Kidnapper's Corner episodes, some very edgy. Even like if you look at the Kidnapper's Corner episode with from the movie Quake with Erica Anderson, she's tied spread eagle on a bed. I'm pretty sure she's just wearing her bra. That's a scene that I would personally never make. That's not really my thing, but I love Erica Anderson, so she's a Freddy girl. So I had to make the video, and there's Steve Railsback kidnapped Gillian Anderson in the first X-Files scene. So I had to use that video. But that scene's a hell of a lot more risky and adult oriented than what you showed me. And these videos aren't even getting age restricted, let alone canned. So I don't know. It's just a freak thing, but I don't know. Don't let that discourage you from doing what you want to do, writing wise. Just try and be a little more careful. I don't really know what else, but yeah, check Ray's channel out. if you haven't before. Um, you know, I plan on going on like his podcast or something. He invited me on. I told him he and I need to Skype. And we need to just rant about shit. Just the two of us. We'll record the screen with the two of us Skyping and just ranting about stuff because I think it would come out pretty damn funny, actually. Um, but yeah, check him out, and you probably already have. I'd imagine he's got almost 30,000 subscribers. He's got like 5-6 times as many as we do here. He's been around for 6 years, so you're more likely to know him than you are to know me. But yeah, that's what we got. So no, YouTube does not hate bondage. I mean, I would think that would be obvious at this point. You know, it's all about the context of what you make, how you portray it, why you're portraying it, why you're doing it. You know, if you come out and write in a channel description for somebody else trying to get into what I'm doing, and you write, hey, I'm here because I think girls look hot tied up, and I'm going to show all the scenes I can find of hot girls tied up, and that's what we're doing here. I love them gagged, and just write all this shit. I heart like that guy, that idiot from Israel that I blocked a long time ago that writes, oh, cool way of sex. Cool way of sex. He writes that in all his videos, that fucking asshole. So, yeah, if you're going to be that idiot and write stuff like that, oh, I think these girls are hot, tied, and gagged, and write that shit, then your account's probably going to get closed. You know, if you're making videos about fucking sex toys, about ball gags, and shit like that, shit that has no place in this genre, if you're making fucking sex toy videos and trying to claim that that's real damsel in distress action and trying to clone me and doing that shit, then yeah, your account's probably going to get canned. And guess what? You fucking deserve your account to get canned. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. But thanks again to Ray for subscribing, and best of luck with everything. I know at this point you're probably sick of people saying that they're sorry for your loss. I was after that happened to me. It does get quite annoying. You appreciate it, but at the same time, you wish people would stop reminding you of it. So, yeah, that's what we got. So hopefully you'll see me and Ray communicating in the future, and that's what we got, folks. Thanks. Oh yeah, I also want to add that I'm quite jealous of Ray and the fact of all of the talent that he's got to work with over the last however many years. I have all these ideas and all these stories I've written and all these things I want to create, and my God, has it been hard to find talent. Luckily, we have Samantha right now, who's great, but I have to find more than just her. So I am envious of Ray and all the people he's been able to find and work with. If only someday we're going to get there.